in 2016 and 17, for example, we introduced the biometric elections. From now on, our citizens could come to the electoral buildings and with their prints, with their fingers, they actually could vote. And at the same time, all the vote system worked out automatically. And by the end of the day, we could see who won the elections. So I think this is one of the big achievements in the electoral cases. My name is Nuria Kutnaeva, and I'm the Minister of Digital Development of the Kyrgyz Republic. I have become the minister in 2023, 1 year ago, and starting from that time, I'm heading for the best digital future of our country. But before that, I also worked in this sphere.
Hello, my name is Talan Sultanov. I am co-founder of Internet Society Kyrgyz chapter. In the past, I worked in the Kyrgyz government when we designed and launched a digital transformation strategy for the country.
The digital development of the Kyrgyz Republic started not yesterday, not a year ago. I think it was in 2014 when the Kyrgyz Republic started implementing some of the digital solutions. As you know, the digital public infrastructure is built on several layers, so to say. This is actually the infrastructure per se, which is, for example, servers or cables and so on, and data centers and so on. But in what we have done in 2014 is that we implemented the principle of one identification number for one citizen, because before that it was quite, I should say, chaotic. Starting from that time, we introduced the whole different digital solutions, digital services. In 2016 and 17, for example, we introduced the biometric elections or elections based on the biometric data. And it was quite a novel, quite an innovation, especially in this part of the world. Starting from 2018, we introduced the one of the also biggest solutions is this is the interoperability system. It is called Tunduk. Tunduk has a very big philosophical meaning, because this is actually the fundament of our national building. It is called yurt. So this is actually some kind of the fundamental roof, the top of the roof of this building, which is also the fundament of our national house. So we introduced this interoperability system, which allowed different public agencies to exchange freely and free of charge, of course, but at the same time in a secure way, data between themselves. So this data exchange platform was introduced in 2018, and it was founded after the X-Road system, Estonian X-Road system, and we introduced it in different public agencies, and we like every day we looked at how many public agencies exchange data between themselves. Of course, for this we needed not only computers but also servers and all this kind of infrastructure, digital infrastructure. So by this time, we can proudly say that not only public agencies exchange information between themselves using the information systems of different public agencies, but also business. And this is, I think, one of the major achievements of us, because we allowed businesses to use the data from public agencies' information system. This gave also business some advantages, because previously we needed to get, or our citizens needed to get some paper or some information on the papers, we call it certificates, from starting from some point and using this interagency platform. This is not needed anymore. So which means that our citizens do not need to go to different, public agencies. What I want to say is that public agencies, together with businesses, they're the driving forces against for the digitalization. We have developed not only digital infrastructure. We have developed also digital solutions, of course, the information systems, of course, but we also on the legal sphere. So our trend, our thoughts, our ideas at the moment are to introduce all our digital services in the mobile application. It is, I think, in all countries there are some digital. There is a digital solution which is called State Portal or One-Stop Shop or anything like this.
And even 6-7 years ago, we started working on building the X-Road solution in Kyrgyzstan, which we called Tunduk, which in Kyrgyzstan translates as a capstone for a traditional home that Kyrgyz nomads used to live in. It brings together kind of all of the dwelling, and Tunduk was supposed to bring together the government, the private sector, civil society together in a very digital way. And this helped us resolve many of the challenges that the government was facing with bureaucracy, kind of lack of transparency, and kind of helped us establish working very good links with the private sector and citizens in terms of providing government services.
Our idea is that all public services should be done not in the buildings, and a citizen, an ordinary citizen, shouldn't be connected to the building. It shouldn't go somewhere. It should only have a mobile application. All public services should be in the mobile application that every citizen brings or holds and carries with herself or himself. So what our team is proud of is that we have a very good examples of digital services in the mobile application. And I think that our citizens are becoming more and more mobile, more and more using their mobiles. Instead of going to this or that public agencies, we are trying to put everything in the her or his mobile phone, and taking into consideration that our country is not so big. It is about 7 million people of population. The statistics shows that about 7 to 8 million of mobile phones are going around. But so it means that many people do have mobile phones, and we are holding the 17th place in the world of the cheapest internet rate. So this means And also another statistics is that 99% of our territory is covered by the mobile internet, which means that all our idea of putting all our public services into mobile phone has very good grounds, has very good arguments for this.
This was, of course, a journey, and initially, both the government agencies, the public, didn't really understand what we are trying to do. So communications was a major aspect of our work in the building digital public infrastructure in Kyrgyz Republic. And the development strategy that we designed was called Taza Kom, which translates as a transparent or open society, how digital tools can help establish transparency and accountability, increase efficiency in delivering public services. When we are now looking into different government agencies, the big challenge that we are identifying is what we are calling a zoo of all kinds of IT systems. And individual government services within themselves are struggling to kind of interconnect these information services. And when we talk about data exchange between government agencies, that increases the complexity even more. And in addition of that, exchanging data with private sector, with the commercial sector, it adds even more complexity to this. So the solutions such as interoperability platforms such as X-Road allow to avoid this huge actually work of trying to bring all these different IT systems that have been developed, which are sometimes legacy IT systems, and really help build bridges between different sources of data.
I think about 2 years ago, we understood that there are some impediments in the legal sphere. We can do wonderful information systems. We can introduce the best platform for interoperability exchange system, right? But we have this impediment in the sphere of legislation, and what we have done is we started changing the legislation, but it turned out that the legislation is very outdated. Not many new things are introduced, and therefore we thought, why should we change like hundreds and hundreds of legislative acts? Let's do something different. And we have started implementing working out the digital code or digital codex. This digital codex was worked out with the help of also with the international expertise. We have looked at different countries, and we have looked at what is interesting in different countries. And with the best cases, with the best scenarios, with the best examples, we put everything here in this digital code. And I can proudly say also that I think 1 year ago, it was also presented in the UN, and it was very favorably looked at. And at the moment, we put all our forces to defend it in the nearest future in the parliament. And I hope that the digital code will be in the nearest future approved by our parliament and will be introduced and put in force. For example, such cases as artificial intelligence or big data or deepfakes and everything, many other things are introduced already in this digital code. The principles of working with the artificial intelligence and so on and so forth. At the moment, for example, we are implementing an online registration, the residence registration. This is one thing. Another example is that last year we introduced the online re-registration of the vehicle or online re-registration of the property. In 2016 and 17, for example, we introduced the biometric elections. From now on, our citizens could come to the electoral buildings and with their prints, with their fingers, they actually could vote. And at the same time, all the vote system worked out automatically. And by the end of the day, we could see who won the elections. So I think this is one of the big achievements in the electoral cases. What is also a very good example is that we introduce the concept of digital document, which means that I do not need to bring any document, like physical document, like ID, for example. I do not need to bring it with myself somewhere in the country. I bring only my phone only, and I use it like digital ID with this mobile, in my mobile application Tunduk. I show it to everybody. For example, the policeman stops me and I can show my ID in my mobile, in my cell phone, or the driver's license. I can also show this to a policeman, or going to the bank, or going to the notary office, or even flying in the inside the country. I can show my ID card. Also, the pensioners' ID, our pensioners also can show this in their cell phone. And this is also legally binding for banks or notary offices. They are obliged to, if a citizen shows such a digital document, they are obliged to receive it. And we introduced last year the digital ID to get or renew digital ID in the distant form by camera, only using the camera and cell phone. And starting from last year, I think about 1.5 million people received such digital ID in the distant form, and I think that this is a very good statistics. What we are doing is attract also civil society. We attract also civil society in the sphere to be part of digitalization. And this digitalization efforts, they are supported by the civil society as well. We are trying to be as transparent as possible, because if we have the support from the civil society, from the citizens in implementing all our digital efforts, then citizens understand in which sphere we go, in which direction we go, and then we are supported. We get all kinds of support. For example, we implemented some channels via messages. We like almost every day we go to the social media and we introduce what we have done so far and maybe what we have not, and then citizens are also look favorable to us. Well, we should say that we are doing not step by step. You know, the programmers, they do have such two approaches. This is waterfall and agile, right? The programmers use it very well. And what we are doing in our work, we are doing it agile. We are doing it simultaneously at very different levels. For example, we implementing at the moment several big projects with World Bank. We are introducing some data centers, which is digital infrastructure. At the same time, we are introducing digital solutions. We are introducing some cell phone applications. At the same time, we are working with the banks and with the business sector to introduce digital solutions, which we implement not only in our public applications, but also we give some services to be implemented in the banks, in the so to say electronic wallets, business electronic wallets, or in the notary offices, which are also private ones. So what we are doing is we are working in the different directions, and I think that this is a very good strategy. At the same time, we are implementing legislation, and this legislation is not only good for public agencies, not only good for the state, but also for the businesses. We are trying not to forget the business, because the business sometimes is also the driving force again for the digitalization.
So today we are doing a diagnostic for the government agencies that work with the population the most. So it's such government agencies like Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Social Protection. And in this work, one big support for us from the co-develop and DPI was to see how this kind of work is done in different countries. Two is kind of to be able to actually do research and analysis of the situation. And based on this kind of work, we are building a roadmap for these government agencies on how to step by step start kind of building digital public infrastructures and how to start offering digital public services for the citizens and for the private sector. So, of course, this is still work in progress, and we hope that soon we will be able to actually provide tangible results and outcomes based on this work.
I think that what is very important to know that digitalization is not like the ending point. There is no way that you say, if we get to that point, the digitalization will be over. Digitalization is always the process, and we should get as much as possible during this process. And you asked what are obstacles, right? And I think that obstacles are in our minds, and this is not only in our country. I think this is everywhere around the globe. To change the mind, this is one of the most difficult part. When you do the re-engineering of business processes, and this is actually the point where you start, this is, I think, one of the most difficult part, to make the best re-engineering process in such a way that this digital process will go as smoothly as possible, I think. But you should never give up in this digitalization process, and this is how it goes, and this is how we hope that Kyrgyzstan will be one of the most digital countries in the world.
For us, it was important to first analyze and understand the situation in the government and in individual government agencies. Second important lesson that we learned is the importance of legal and regulatory aspects. So building the enabling environment is very important to make this process a success. Third is not to be afraid and to be actually open to involve different stakeholders in your efforts. So in this case, Kyrgyz government has been very open and welcoming for different stakeholders to come in and to work together in helping government to transition to the new mode of work. And I think the next important lessons for us was to establish partnerships with international community from which we are learning, but also we are sharing our knowledge and experience with neighboring countries, with partners in different countries, so that together all these countries can quickly kind of implement the transition to digital public infrastructures.